Flowing northeast, the Nile's headwaters create Africa's biggest lake. At Lake Victoria, the river begins its legendary journey. Leaving the lake, the Nile bursts into life and transforms into the mighty river of legends. It rushes into foaming rapids, plunging downwards into pools below. From Uganda's Murchison Falls National Park, the river embarks on an adventurous journey through one of the last untamed African landscapes. The river enters South Sudan and turns into Africa's largest swamp, the Sudd. Runs through vast stretches of wilderness. Once past the waterfalls, the Nile continues serenely through Uganda's largest national park. The Nile crocodile has been the river's symbol since the dawn of time. The ancient Egyptians worshipped it as a deity. The national park is inhabited by some of the largest crocodiles in Africa. Many grow up to a length of 5 meters and more. More than 400 bird species breed and hunt along the Victoria Nile. African skimmers migrate within the continent. They stop here to rest and feed. A flock of skimmers is hunting for fish.
A rocky island divides the river into narrow passages. 300 cubic meters per second are forced through a 6-meter channel. The passages create 2 waterfalls, the Uhuru and the Murchison Falls. The Nile plunges 40 meters down. Rocks throw the water back up into the air. The Murchison Falls provides a titanic spectacle. Around the falls, a tropical garden flourishes, courtesy of the permanent spray. Murchison Falls are not Africa's largest waterfalls by any means, but they are surely among the most beautiful. The eagle hunts for fish with unpaired. tiang are moving through the outback. The largest herds number over 20,000. It is thanks to the WCS biologists that we know of this migration. They spent thousands of hours in the air until finally discovering that the antelope In Badingalo National Park, all antelope come together. The reserve and the surrounding savanna are as good as uninhabited. Some 40,000 square kilometers of unspoiled grassland. This is unique even in Africa.